Hey everyone, 3D Printing Maniac here. Today I got a new project for you. One of my viewer asked me to create the knife from Valorant, which is used by one of the character. This is simple shape, so why not? Let's do this. I download the concept art from Google and set up the height of character to 1.7 meters, so I could check the size of knife. As you can see, it's 235 millimeters. So I set up the size of dagger from the other picture and set up my scene. Like always in Rhino, which is CAD software, I start from creating some curves and then create the surface. I create the one side, then use the mirror tool to create the other side, so it make my job a little faster. Here I use the tool which create the lines between two objects when they are crossing, so this allow me to create the lines which I use to cut out unnecessary part, and then I could connect everything together to one closed shape. Here I start create ring, so nothing hard to do, just a couple of circles connected together, and I cut out the part of the blade. So just copy the edge of the ring and use trim tool. Here is the small box, so nothing hard to do. Just create another lines and extrude them. After that, I start adding the details to ring, so just create lines from the front view, project them into the ring and extrude them. And same thing with the small lines. So here I use the offset tool and project and extrude. For the handle, I create the overall shape. It's a little bigger, as you can see, because I will cut off the unnecessary part later. So just create the overall shape and extrude it. To round edges, I create the cylinder, then manipulate them a little and use the Boolean operation. Here I cut out the corners so they are round. And here just copy the edge of the circle. And one more time, extrude, cut out the unnecessary parts, all the time same things. Here I noticed that the ring is go through the handle, so I selected just some edges on the handle and move them up, and this fixed the problem. Here I rounded the edges, but actually it was unnecessary because the difference is not visible after printing. And I have some issues here on the one side, so I delete it and mirror the correct side. Next step was create the bottom parts, so just create the rectangle with rounded corners, use the sweep one rail options, a little of manipulating, and it was done. Next, the pattern of the handle. It's covered by strips, so I'm not sure what it should look like, so I just create more or less something which fit to the picture, and then use offset to create the thicker line, then project and extrude. For the leather strips, I just create the lines on the top and bottom of strip, project them onto the handle and create the new lines on the corners, then close everything and create the solid shape. And I did this for every strip. It doesn't look too good, of course, so I exported everything to ZBrush and use ZBrush to create a little nicer topology and sculpting. So just use the move brush, and I did this for every strip. After that, I added some little details. The last thing was decimation to reduce the number of polygons and export everything to Rhino. In Rhino, I took the all parts which are made from surfaces and connect them with Boolean operation. And here I create the lines, actually plane to divide a blade into two parts. I forgot to add the pins, which will be helpful later, but it wasn't a problem to add it. And I used a little bigger pin to cut out the hole inside the ring. Because the handle is surface and the strips are mesh, I export everything to ZBrush and use the Boolean operation from Rhino. All parts were exported as STL. I got my prints, this time white PLA. The handle was printed vertically, so it looks pretty good. There will be only a little of sanding. The blades need a little more work. As you can see, the layers are quite visible, so this will be much more work. This time I want to use filler for the wood, which is recommended by a lot of people, and this one exactly can be mixed with water. So at the end I want to try mix it with water and paint the whole model to see how it will be smoothed. The one thing which I am afraid a little is the color, because it's really dark, but I hope it wouldn't be visible through the primer and paint. After 2 hours of sanding, handle is ready. On the blades there are still a little visible layers, so on this part and this I will use filler, wait until it will dry and sand this a little more, and then I will glue all parts together and use the filler with water. I hope I did everything correctly. Now I need to wait 24 hours. Fun fact, this filler looks like chocolate cake and smells exactly like chocolate cake. I hope it's not chocolate. First sanding is done and I am really happy with the result. Filler work perfectly. It's easy to sand, it's covered all layers and everything is smooth. So now I will join the parts together, and as I said before, I will paint everything with filler, which will be mixed with water. Here is my knife after sanding. I am very happy with the result. Everything is smooth. It was easy to sand, especially on the flat surface like blade. I spent a little more time on the handle because there are some tight spots, but overall it doesn't take me too long to sand everything. This is how the knife looks like. I want to say that I don't have too much experience with painting. I'm still trying new things, still learning new things, so don't treat this movie as a professional tutorial about painting. Most time of my life I only design 3D models. I tried to add some texture with sponge, but only sponge is, I think, good for things like rust. I should use brush with water to blur this. I test this in the other print and looks much better, but it was too late for this one. Paint is dry, so I couldn't blur it. Also, I did other mistake. I should add the highlights on the edges at the end and maybe with the lighter color. About leather strips, I should also use lighter paint to add highlights. I wanted to add them on the edges, but they are not visible too much. If you want to print knife like this, I will leave link to STL files in the description. If you like this video, don't forget about thumbs up, and I will be thankful if you leave subscription on my channel and follow my Instagram. Thank you for watching and see you in the next movie.